Welcome in. Welcome in. We're doing this a bit early today. Bit earlier than we normally do. Zim's going to have one a bit later. I'm going to probably hop in there as well. So we'll just kind of get it on the road. We'll get this going, get it uploaded for everyone who misses it. And then, yeah. Um, again, it wasn't pretty. That's back to back weeks now. You've had to have it no matter what, and you've gotten it. There's going to be a lot to critique, a lot to to look at. There's going to be a lot to fix in the coaches' room. I think you got obviously another big one coming up. The Eagles are great. Um, I think you might have just played the two best defenses you're going to see all season, though. The D line for the Giants is special, and obviously the Browns have given us fits throughout the years. I think their defense played extremely well. Um, it's just a couple decisions here or there. It's um, it's just a couple plays here or there, and um, this could have been another one of those where it's like, what the hell is going on? But you walk out of that, you're 3-4 now. You got a chance to get to 500 for the first time since the season kicked off. So it's everything's looking up. Even if the offense isn't scoring 30 a game like they were for those 3 weeks or whatever, you know, it's okay to not be firing on all cylinders as long as you're winning, right? And look at what the Chiefs are doing. Patrick Mahomes looks terrible, but they're winning games. So I will take whatever ugly win they want to throw at us, as long as it means, as long as it means we're actually winning games. I don't care if we win a Super Bowl and Burrow only throws for 80 yards. We won the Super Bowl, right? So what I am going to do this week that I didn't do in weeks past, I'm going to actually we used to do this. I'm going to break it from offense and defense. I'm going to separate the two instead of just watching it like, normal all 22 where it flows. Um, I think it's better to isolate each one on its own for this week because I feel like for a lot of the bad of this week was actually on that offensive side of the football. Did a couple things I really liked, a couple decisions I didn't really like in real time. Like, why are you calling a sweep to the short side of the field? I think Burrow maybe missed a couple reads here. Um, I think all in all, our defense did pretty well. Couple dicey moments there at the end of the first half, start of the second half, but kind of bowed their necks a little bit. Deshaun started 15 for 17. He was kind of cooking our defense a little bit. They just couldn't get it going down the field. So everything was short of the line of scrimmage.
With you, man, when you was talking about, you know, a win is a win. I remember when we had Carson Palmer and TJ and Chad, there was a season where they called us the cardiac cats because we kept pulling out these games, you know what I mean? And it wasn't pretty, but we were winning. So that's all that matters, bro. We just got to make sure we get that W on the board, man.
That was '09, right, where we swept the division.
I believe so.
Yeah, I remember that because we lost the first game that year with Brandon Stokely, where it got tipped and he scored, and then yeah, that Steelers one was crazy. I think it was the one in Cincinnati that year was nuts.
Man, you felt the impact Orlando Brown has on this offensive line as well. Once he
Yeah,
went out.
I think Cody Ford did okay. I don't think he was great. Um, I think he did okay when he had to step up. I the one sack we're gonna watch. We're gonna see that as the game goes on. The one it looks like um, he passed off to Kappa and Kappa didn't pick up on it. It looked like some miscommunication there, but yeah, I think that's a big bullet dodged right there. And this is one I wanted to kind of go back to and talk about Burrow missing guys. If this is the correct play here, All right, so they're showing a mug look at the line of scrimmage here, and they both drop out. So they're rushing 4. Burrow breaks contain on the pocket. Now stop. As soon as that scramble drill, as soon as Burrow gets out of the pocket going this way, you know, I need this to be a little bit bigger so I can actually see it. There you go. So you got this guy. I think that's Tanner Hudson, who Burrow takes a shot to. But look at this right here. Right at the sticks, you got Mike Gesicki there. And Burrow just doesn't take a shot on him at all.
Yeah, I said that in real time. I put out a post on that on X as soon as I saw it.
Yeah, so that's that's not a
He's done
progression.
that on more than one occasion. I mean, he's done that a lot this year, actually. Instead of just taking a play that would get us a first down, he'll go for the deep shot or he'll go for the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is a Jamar Chase, this is a T. Higgins, and they got a step like that, that's wide open. But that's Tanner Hudson. You're in third down. You get the first down right here. You can keep moving the ball. You're already up 7-0. That's a luxury we haven't really had against the Browns in the past. I mean, honest, it doesn't come back to bite you, luckily. But that's one that Burrow misses right there. If we're going to keep everything honest. And I think a lot of the offensive struggles yesterday, it was on Burrow just kind of holding on to the ball too long. He was second guessing himself. Like right there, he has a double pump. He breaks contain. Not a terrible throw. Again, if that's Jamar, that's probably 6. The issue is that's Tanner Hudson. And I like Eric All a lot. I don't know if Eric All can really even make that play. That's hard on a tight end. So, it's not necessarily a check down, but just take what the defense gives you there, right at the sticks. You get a first down. You get to move on with your drive instead of punting the ball back to them. And Rec out here, he didn't have one of his better punts of the day. And that's a good return, too. So they get the ball at, about almost the 40-yard line, 37, 38, we'll call it. But we're not gonna see the defensive side until after. I think we're gonna kind of front load this with offense. I do like that. Here's what I'll say. It's kind of a duality thing, right? So first, for starters, you're lined up on this hash right here, and you show them a pitch going this way. They bite on it because for some reason Zach Taylor just loves calling, sweeps to the short side. When if you have Chase Brown, you want to give him as much real estate, as much field to kind of find a crease and then, just kind of string it out, and then just cut straight up field. The fact that Zach Taylor's been so willing to, bang his head against the wall running these sweeps is the whole reason that this opens up off this play action look. So it's a good and a bad thing simultaneously. Frustrating because you're going to see it later on in the game where you saw it first snap of the game. You saw us run a sweep that gets nothing. You're going to see us run a sweep later in the game to the short side of the field that loses 3 to 4 yards. It's the good with the bad. But this one works perfectly because, again, it's been on film long enough. You see the linebacker create the opening there for Joe to throw that window to T. Richie, I don't think Chris Jenkins has the club on anymore. I think that's off. And Chris Jenkins has been awesome this year, but we'll get to defense. See, that's the kind of look right there I'd like to see maybe first play of the game. Let Burrow and T find a little bit of rhythm. Just kind of it's like basketball, right? Where sometimes you just need to see the ball go in. It's a great run by Chase. It's too bad that Volson holds there. I know people are saying it's a phantom holding. He had his hand outside the shoulder pad, drug him to the ground. That's a pretty routine hold that they're going to call in the NFL. I don't have.
That's an absolute hold, bro. That was. I don't even understand why people was questioning that. That was a hold.
right. I mean, you see him grabbing his nameplate. It's a pretty clear hold.
Was it 2 weeks in a row with Bosun?
Yes, I think so. 2 weeks in a row. If my boy Forrest was in here, he'd tell you how he's a footstepper too. Real time, if I remember correctly, I kind of had an issue. It's 1st and 16. You just had a good run. Um, I'm not a big fan of running it on 1st and 2nd and long, especially 2nd and long, which I think is quantified as 2nd and 10 plus. You're at 1st and 16 here. You don't really gain anything. Now you're way behind um, the 8 ball in terms of picking this up on plus side of the field here. You send Yoshi in motion. Joe's checking at the line of scrimmage. He's got all day. Again, the pass blocking there, it's great. I mean, this is everything you could want. Just nobody's getting open down the field. Um, Joe's kind of just holding on to the ball. Again, that's coverage. The reason he gets hit there is holding on to the ball. It's coverage. It's a lot of different things. I'd put none of that on the offensive line. That is incredible blocking, which is something we haven't been able to say for the past couple years. Again, he's holding on to the ball there. And see, this is where I like Burrow the most. This is where I think he's so different. We're going to go back to that real quick. Trim said he saw a shot down the right sideline. Let's see if that's in his progression here. Oh, yeah, he did. Bro, he just missed it. Did the pressure get there, though? See if the pressure gets there where he puts his eyes down. Watch him right up here where this red dot is. Oh, he had it. But I think he was looking left instead of right. But it looks like Jamar kind of came open a little bit late on the bottom of your screen here. Watch Jamar in this post. By the time Burrow's flushed out, Jamar's open. Yeah, it looks like he had a shot to tee. I don't think that was in his progressions at all. But he ends up making something out of nothing. He kind of gets flushed out a little bit to his left. Zach Moss is able to get us in a 4th and convertible situation here. He's looking at Gesicki. Yeah, he missed a big play there. I don't know how people feel about this. I love the decision here on this side of the field to go for it. 4th and short. I hate the idea of just running like shallow concepts there. I'd love to stretch the field a little bit more in that situation, make them guard everything. I mean, what are we at? Like the 38? I want to make them guard, 38 going this way. I want to make them guard the entire width of the field this way. I want to use all this space that we have to try to get somebody open. And it just feels like instead we get these kind of convoluted, like bunched up routes. Like here, let's go back to the sideline. I feel like this is going to show us a bit more here. So you start with a bunch right here. Everything is short. Everything is short. And I get it. You only need a couple yards. Use that motion so Burrow can see what kind of coverage they're in. Everything's short. Nobody gets open. and then the pressure gets there. That's no bueno. It is bad blocking. Zim had some thoughts on this play. I think he'll probably go over it. He likes the result. He's not in favor of doing that with Jamar consistently, though. The risk outweigh the rewards. I like it as a drive starter, and in a division game, I think this is a must win. A division game, maybe don't do that all 17. Don't Debo him or anything, but so here you go. They bring pressure. Burrow still got time to throw, and that's a hell of a catch by T. It was a good job picking up that blitz too. Can we extend T. Higgins? Can we do that today? And again, it's curl routes. Look at this. Look at the top of the screen. Like what is that? You guys see these three receivers all at the top of the screen? Just curl. Like
No creativity, bro.
none.
There was a play where you could tell it was either a mix up in communication with T or it was Yoshi Boss. One of the two. They both ran the same route and they was in the same area.
We just need to. I feel like we need to get back to some basics here. Trying to do too much. Like, why do you have, trips to one side and you're running three curls over there? It's a wasted play. It's letting a defense off the hook. If they're playing 10 yards off, like over the top, like you're going to be able to get something else out of that. And that's when Burrow sees the blitz coming. He gets the ball out quickly. And Jamar just does Jamar things. That's the number one receiver in the NFL right now in terms of yards, in terms of touchdowns. He took 2 weeks off to give everyone a chance. And Jamar is still the best wide receiver in the NFL. And this is what I talked about. Let's see this angle. It looks like a hold. It looks like he is holding his arm here. Yeah, he was holding his arm. So I don't think Burrow missed on that. I think the refs missed on that. But again, you give the refs an opportunity to fuck you 10 times out of 10, they're going to do it.
I mean, look who we had as the ref. I mean, routinely does that to us.
I wish I still had that Ron Tolbert picture up. The guy with a lot of physical DB play. They always do. That's the only reason I think the Browns are even competitive in their defensive backfield. If the refs want to be ticky-tacky and call, some of these more like handsy penalties, the Browns wouldn't be good. That's why I'm not that big on their DB room. I don't really like Emerson or Newsome or Ward that much. Like,
but they called it on DJ Turner though.
Yeah, they call it on DJ Turner, and that's part of my problem. Like, that's one of my big things with DJ Turner is he doesn't turn his head around to look for the ball. He's too reliant on not getting called for that, and that's the Browns' entire DB room is, they act like it's a sin to throw a flag on them, but they're really just overly physical. They're kind of PI merchants. What did people call Sauce Gardner? Like, if you really wanted to, you could throw flags on them like they do on Terrion Arnold, like they did to DJ Reed and all these other guys who get a ton of flags thrown. They're that handsy with the wide receivers. Yeah, we had good field position most of the game. We couldn't do much. The Browns' defense is good, man. Their front is really, really good. Even with the banged up Myles Garrett, I mean, they still got Zadarius Smith. They still got JOK. And again, at the top of the route, where Jamar goes to separate, let's take a look. Myles did play yesterday. He got blanked by that guy on the right, 71. If you guys go on my Twitter, you'll see people saying, I don't think we're going to get a tackle at 18 better than Jonah Williams. And look at that. We got one. Year one, he's already better than Jonah has ever been. You are correct. Everybody.
That was a nasty tweet, bro.
There's a couple of them. People really like Jonah, man. Again, I like the throw. I like the decision. Denzel did break it up. Yoshi had 2 hands on it. But if you're going to throw a jump ball there, why don't you have T. Higgins in that? Again, it's just a small like schematic change right there on that play. I don't want Yoshi in that situation.
Somebody asked, did Myles play? Yes. He made a couple plays yesterday.
Let Jermaine run that. Let T run that. Give me T. Higgins one-on-one with any corner in the league.
But to be fair, man, look, T had the same thing happen to him, bro. Like,
yeah.
That's why, like, when people were saying that, like, even on the on X, bro, I'm like, bro, you got to realize. Oh, you talking about my bad, Myles Garrett, my bad. You got to realize that Denzel Ward he's a dude, bro. Like, he is a really good corner. They had their hands on the ball, he knocked it out. You know what I mean? Like, on both of them, on T. Higgins and on Yoshi Vaz. He's just a heck of a player, bro. You just got to hats off to him. Yeah, I would like my receiver to catch it. Absolutely, 100% of the time. But I'm not going to just completely disregard Denzel Ward because, I ain't going to do that.
This might be my like hot take of the day. I'm not huge on Denzel Ward. I watched him at Ohio State. Obviously, living in Ohio, hating the Browns the way that I do. I've seen him in Cleveland. I think he's good. I just think, again, he's one of those guys who benefits off of refs not wanting to always call PI. Like I feel like if there was a metric in terms of guys who get away with the most contact without a flag being thrown, I feel like it's probably him at the top of that list. They're cracking down.
I think it's Porter at the top of that list, my dude.
Who do you think it is?
Porter Jr., bro. It's not even close to me, bro. That dude he be inside people's jerseys every single snap, and they never throw a flag on this dude.
All right, my fault. What's going on, guys? My fault for the silences. I was prepping some ribs for tonight. My bad. Got to get some victory ribs.
Victory ribs. I'm about to go put some chicken in the crock pot after this. And then Zen is doing another playback. So if anyone misses any of this, we're doing another one later today.
Now, actually looking at this, it was like my first time now actually looking at the offensive line. I'm really curious to see how Amarius did because I ain't hear his name not once, and that's actually
He's great. Amarius has been great, man. And they have him going up against dudes.
Why I'm just finding that out. I didn't even know he was going against Gary.
Again, look where that pressure comes from. That pressure comes from the left side. Mims is on island.
Bro, I don't know why they was leaving Garrett one-on-one with Ford, bro. That was pissing me off.
And again, I think Cody Ford, in terms of being a guy to kind of step in maybe for a couple series, I thought he did fine against the Ravens. Yesterday was great.
He wouldn't one-on-one yesterday by himself.
He just got
a lot of help yesterday, bro.
No, I feel like the majority, I think, well, how it look like they only helped him when they seen him keep getting whooped.
JW, your mic's a little crazy. I don't know if that's just me.
I'm gonna drop down.
Drop down, I'll bring you back up. And this is, if I remember correctly, this is the one where it looks like Ford wants to pass him off. Watch this offensive line. Watch 61 and 67. It sounds better, yeah. Watch these two right here. No, that's not that one. Oh, that's just your right guard getting beat. Okay. There's one in this game where it looks like Ford wants to
That's
pass
what has
him
me
off.
concerned for next week, though, Brady. Just that right there. And he's going against Jalen. Jeez.
Back to back to back, good defensive lines. It's a good test. And then you got Max Crosby coming. Oh, I passed it. Okay. We'll pick that up when we rewatch this with Zim.
You said Max Crosby coming. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, you got what? The Eagles next week, so there's 3 good defensive lines, and then you got Max Crosby the week after that.
I don't like Browns fans.
Tanner Hudson on punt's hilarious.
Y'all know why they hiding? Where they at?
I have no idea.
Because they was sure hella confident coming into this game.
Manny had a space this morning. They wasn't hiding. Well, Manny had a space, and he had Marshawn and all of them in there.
Oh no, I'm talking about like they don't even mention the game until today. They was quiet they was really confident.
If you were in the Brown space I was in last night, Marshawn was in there drunk as fuck talking about how he wanted to fight people. They talked about all the weird Deshaun stuff.
Yeah, he had bruh. Look, what they did, man, was just disgusting, bro. Like, no matter however you feel about him off the field, that's one thing. But cheering a player's injury, and like they try to validate it in that space, talking about, oh well, it was because of his offense. No, y'all did it to Tim Couch, y'all did it to Derek Anderson. And then one of their fans said, yep, they also did it to Trent Dilfer, too. So it's not just because of his off-field things. It's because y'all that's just who y'all are as a fan base, bro. Point blank, period.
Yeah, if they were going to do all that, they would have done it the first home game he played for them. But they cheered him, you know? They only boo him because he sucks.
And then keep coming in our spaces talking about he's going to do this, that, and the other to us. So, yeah, I ain't trying to hear that, you know. Because it's off the field stuff. Because y'all was over there championing it when he got traded for you.
Yeah, at least all of our takes are out there on Twitter. We've been consistent on it. I don't like the dude. I think he's a scumbag for what he did. That's why yesterday when we were watching the game, I just said no comment and I just moved on. It's not my team. It's not my problem.
AJ Hoodie, I agree. That was an egregious pickup of a flag, bro.
Yeah, the one time in NFL history they called uncatchables against Jamar Chase, where the ball lands about 3 yards away from him as he's getting grabbed. It's pretty wild. Ronnie 5 Downs was working OT yesterday.
I think I had this quote. I asked you this yesterday, Brady, but maybe you come up with a different opinion. Do you think our offense struggling is because the defenses we're playing or the play calling?
Both.
Or the execution?
Both.
It's definitely both. You just saw, again, like a couple series ago, we saw trips to the right, and we saw 3 guys run curl routes. There's no creativity there. There's no threat to the defense there. You're letting them off the hook when you got these weapons and you're not moving them around. I give a lot of credit to the defenses. I think having a good defensive line can disrupt pretty much every team. And I everything we've kind of thrown out there has struggled a little bit, but that's what happens when you play against Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Myles Garrett,
and you stop using the personnel that got you to those 30 points under center. It's like you can see when we don't run in the center, we struggle.
I'm just going to put this out there, though. The 12 personnel against the Giants struggled. Eric All did not have a great game against the Giants. And I think that was their fear this week as well, is maybe all just kind of struggles against more athletic offensive lines, in terms of what he can do blocking wise. Divine, I saw that one. That one's hysterical.
Oh no. They're gonna have a show at 10.
So I might we gotta get this.
Yeah.
And here you go.
I know he's gonna crash out, bro. I know he is.
This is the play that kickstarts the offense a little bit. Chase Brown.
Man, he's so good, bro.
Eric All's motion. See how they cheat across to follow Eric All, and you run away from the motion?
Oh, you know who else was quiet yesterday? I kept getting tweets and everything. Michael Hall Jr. And I know Michael Hall Jr. is a good player, but I didn't hear nothing from him yesterday. Nothing.
He was on the cleanup crew.
I know Eric All didn't play good, but using toss plays on the short side of the field instead of using wham and counter is infuriating. I agree.
Well, I mean, but we just saw him a few plays, bro, where he actually made, like chipping on Myles Garrett, and I think it's just the little things. I mean, some of the stuff we've seen, like he whiffed on the block. I think last week going against the Giants, I think people seeing what Burns was doing, I think that like picked up. I think people done picked up on that, and they starting to do that as well. Because when they run that play where he's running all the way to the defensive end, trying to block the defensive end, Burns just stepped back and let him use his momentum to fall down, and Burns went around him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's just things he's got to adjust to. He'll be all right.
I think it's just the concept of you have Chase Brown. You want to give him as much field to work with to find a crease in the defense to cut up field. And when you run it to the short side of the field, he runs out of real estate quicker. That's where he runs out of bounds for, no gain, a yard. It's also, that's not unabated to the quarterback. That's a free play they took from us right there.
Which I didn't understand, and I was yelling at the TV at the time.
I have no idea. I have no idea why you blow that dead. I get if Myles Garrett has a free shot on your QB, but Ford's got him right there.
Even Joe Burrow was like, "What are you doing?" Jumping up and down, like, "What are you doing?"
I'm sorry, I can't stop looking at Mims like, yo, he got to be like the best draft pick since Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow.
That's right there versus Willie Anderson potentially.
And he's doing this at 22.
You want to know the best part about Mims too? We drafted him. He's a high-level athlete, and we're not playing him out of position. He is playing in his natural, comfortable position, and you're letting him develop as a right tackle.
I know it's just his first year, but I already know we're going to have to pay this man the big bucks too.
Not even worried about it.
Richie, that's nasty, bro. Gesicki has been open. He just hasn't passed him the ball, bro. Like, that's nasty, man. We do it.
Back shoulder.
That's I forgot Glock was on the team.
Hey, rewind that. I want to show you something real quick. Look at the receiver on the other side.
Hit that step over. Well, look at T at the bottom. Or Yoshi.
Yoshi.
Oh, Yoshi.
Wide open, bro.
You know what, Yoshi's open. That's cool. That gave us the Jamar step over.
Yeah.
How much y'all want to bet they're gonna use that play next week?
I bet.
Yep.
Well, and Jamar said that was supposed to be a go that they converted to a back shoulder throw just because they have that kind of chemistry. What's up, Trim?
Yo, we really got them two boys, yo.
Remember we talked about pre-snap motion a week ago, bro? We've talked about pre-snap motion every single week and how it fucks up DBs. How
Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase got to be the best quarterback wide receiver duo in the league. We have to be after last night.
Bar none. Joe and Jamar is the best duo in the league.
Man,
Again,
T.
Jamar's
Higgins has been looking really good, bro. I hope we can find a way to re-sign him. Man, I know that seems like that's probably out the window right now, but he's been dogging this year, man.
you know Joe's going to be watching the tape on this, and he's going to see Yoshi wide open. He's going to be like, okay, I got you.
I'm gonna need Joe to lock
Absolutely,
in now.
They didn't pass it off right. Yoshi was wide because he wasn't the outside receiver at the snap point. Exactly. We talked about we've done pre-snap motion a couple times in here. How if you're motioning guys across, if you want to go like 1, 2, 3, how that changes. And again, this is pre-snap motion. It's a little different. You're using all as a fullback there. But yeah, that pre-snap motion with receivers, if the DBs aren't communicating and the Browns DBs were not, that creates headaches on a defense. Let Dan pitcher call plays. And it exposes, yeah. And it shows Joe pre-snap what they're calling, gives him another, makes his life easier. Let's just blow that play up. Let's not call that again. I didn't like any of the vibes off of this.
I don't like when a receiver's close to the line.
Asking Kappa to pull around and to get a piece of Myles Garrett there. Can we just let's go back to that real quick. Let's talk about that one for a second. So if there's one thing that the Bengals suck at on the offensive line, it's athleticism in the front three here. Bolson, Karras, Kappa. You're going to ask Kappa to pull around here and to get a piece of Myles Garrett, of all people. Let's just hold on. Let's think about this for a second.
And he got slaughtered.
You want this, like, how big is he? Probably 320, 330. You want him to pull around and get a piece of Myles Garrett, who Cody Ford doesn't even get a piece of. Again, not really his responsibility, but maybe just get a forearm on the guy, push him away a little bit. But you want him to pull on that? Who do you think Alex Kappa is?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Mims run a faster 40 than Kappa.
Oh, no, I mean, I get it. I definitely get the protection concept. Let's just burn that up with the guards that we have.
I don't understand why they keep doing this. It's an every week thing we talk about that, bro. We have the most unathletic, interior in the league, and you're gonna keep trying to pull with these guys. It makes no sense.
If we would have got a Jackson Powers Johnson in the draft, if we would have got, a Brandon Coleman who's playing tackle right now, I still like him as a guard. Again, running that kind of concept with an unathletic interior offensive line, and it's something. I won't call it bold.
Have anybody drafted a guard in the first round?
Yeah. I don't think anybody did this year. Wait, was Graham Barton a first rounder? You'd rather have Powers over Mims? No. That's not what I'm saying at all. No, what I'm saying is if you had an interior or an athletic interior offensive line, if you had a guy like Jackson Powers Johnson, just to give people an idea or a concept of athleticism, or a Graham Barton, who's also extremely athletic, you can run that kind of concept. I probably still wouldn't do it against Myles Garrett. JPJ went second round to the Raiders. The Raiders' first round was Brock Bowers.
That was a good play call on that defense. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But yeah,
Hey, if they got Puny, I would have been fine with Dominic Puny. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there
dude
were
from Kansas, right?
there.
Or
Well, I
how
just
about
said that to say, Rattledge, his name Rattledge.
Tate Ratledge, yeah, from
Yeah, I would
Georgia.
say yeah,
You
Ratledge.
know who I
You
would have
are
loved
Bengals.
is Steve Avila. He came out a couple years ago. I would have loved him as a guard. But again, that's neither here nor there. It's just you can't run that kind of concept with an Alex Kappa or a Cordell Volson. You can't. And this is the one that I think Kyrus was about to break everything in his vicinity watching.
Hey Brady, are you gonna you live streaming the Ravens game tonight?
No. Nope.
You know like Lamar?
Don't get me started. O-line to ship. It's that, but it's the concept of, again, you have a fast back. This is just, again, it's a little just schematic thing. It's, again, you're lined up on this hash right here. You call the play going to this side. You've now cut the field by into a third. If you go this way, you got 2/3. The play might result in the same thing because, again, you're asking a lot out of these offensive linemen to get out there into space. I mean, 65 is just looking around. He barely does anything there. But again, you're calling shit to the short side of the field. If you're wanting it to go wide, again, if you're wanting, Chase Brown to go wide, give him the wide side of the field. Give him more yardage to kind of eat up to find that crease in the defense. It's just kind of a little thing. I mean, it doesn't help when your offensive line gets blown up either. I said something, I forget who posted it. I think it's Coach Dan Casey on Twitter, which if you guys follow him, he's great. He's always posting like different clips, and he's giving you guys like the concepts and everything, and he's a great offensive mind. But he showed Wham, when it's blocked correctly, is a gorgeous play. But if that shit gets blown up, you guys are going to want to just like throw your remote through the TV. It's it's the duality of run blocking. I don't like that free rusher coming up the middle on Burrow. I really am
I'm
not
not
a
gonna
fan of
lie.
that.
That kind of looked like that defensive play that the Chiefs ran
Mm-hmm.
when the running back picked up the person and the other person just came right around it.
And there goes Teeth. That is the same exact play we scored on against the Ravens, correct? Same concept.
Yeah. And the Steelers. I take T. Higgins every time on
Too
those
easy.
type of routes.
Oh yeah.
The slant routes.
Strong hands, good catch radius. Yeah. Why'd you call him Slant Boy? Why'd you call him Slant Boy T? Not too much.
Hey, like you said, if you can't stop it, then hey, if you know what he's doing, stop it.
Yeah. People want to make fun of Michael Thomas. If you don't like Michael Thomas running slants, then stop him from running slants. Good luck.
Now, I gotta give props for the Browns. The only person I really give props to is Denzel Ward. That man had himself a game yesterday.
No, we're not doing the Buckeye glazing in here. Fuck Denzel Ward.
I'm sorry, like them passes, like he should have got like head tapped twice that game. Like his patience and hands and like it's like that. I guess that's why Brown's saying, well, go ahead, Devon.
I was just gonna bring up a point. Like, if we would have went, they guard in the second round or center or whatnot in the second round, then we wouldn't have, Chris Jenkins. So I'm fine with how it went. I just think this year in the draft we just got to attack that interior and just get more athletic in general on that offensive line, even for depth pieces, bro.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. I'm not saying I don't want Chris Jenkins. I mean, I have an autographed helmet from Chris Jenkins here in my office. And, again, that's the good thing with this year's draft class is everybody's been contributors in some way, shape, or form outside of Tanner McLaughlin and Matt Lee, which again, that's your 6th, 7th round pick. No, honestly, this year's draft class has been fine. I'm just bringing up names as an example. I think that's what got the chat kind of confused. When you don't have an athletic interior offensive line, you can't run concepts like that. That's just begging for trouble. You Kappa can go out there and talk a big game all he wants about how he's able to do that. He's not. And you as a coach need to know your team's limitations and their strengths. And when you have this big of an offensive line, you don't need to go more finesse concepts with like pulling a guard to pick up a D end, especially when that D end is Myles Garrett. So and Kyrus, I don't think that's a hot take at all. T over the middle has been great. T over the middle and T is a deep shot. I think he excels in both of those situations.
Nick Chubbs only had 22 yards.
He averaged
What
2
a
yards a carry.
what a homecoming! I thought the Batman was returning. Hey,
He's the Batman from the first half of The Dark Knight Returns, the one who gets his back broken. Gets thrown
22
down a well.
yards. When was the last time the Bengals held a running back to 22 yards or low
And
yards like that?
and again, I think even Deshaun's like 15 for 17 is a little deceiving because a lot of that was just checkdowns, and they were only getting a yard or two. He wasn't really pushing the ball downfield that much. He had a couple good throws, but a lot of it was, oh, it's 3rd and long, and he just ate a sack and cost his team 8 yards. Here's a 6-yard completion. Here's a 7-yard completion. Now we're off the field.
What
This is where
coverage they in?
this is where Zach Taylor goes a little Zach Taylor.
If we had this O-line in the Super Bowl, we would have won.
We're not talking about that. We got a Super Bowl coming up in a couple months.
Yeah, we should be second ring chasing. That just made it worse.
You guys
See,
remember on the
that's the play I was
broadcast?
talking about right there.
You guys remember on the broadcast where they tried acting like Denzel Ward intercepted that?
Bro, they wanted him to pick that off so bad. You can clearly see he dropped that. Well, I don't know. Let's wait a minute.
I'm not gonna lie. I get he went to Ohio State. I just can't stand Denzel Ward.
Yeah, because he on the Browns.
I don't even feel that way about Cam Hayward because I think it's really just because I feel like Denzel Ward at Ohio State had another level that he just never really hit. He was never the guy that he is in the league. He was never that guy in college for Ohio State.
I'm ready for Eagles fan.
Well, that'll be tomorrow or Wednesday since I'm not sick this week.
Because I really haven't even watched any Eagles games this season for real. So I'm curious of what they doing.
And that one is damn close to being a safety. Why is Darren Simmons on the hot seat? He's got a punter. He got Charlie Jones to run north-south on one play yesterday, and he got a touchdown.
And if you heard Charlie Jones on presser, he was like Darren Simmons drew that up. So how is he on the hot seat?
McPherson's operation issues aren't on Darren Simmons, man. Sometimes players just need to shut the fuck up and execute. If we have guys running open all over the field and Burrow misses them, is that a Zach Taylor problem or is that a Joe Burrow problem? Because I mean, at the end of the day, a coach can only do so much. If your job, all you have to do is snap the ball, then shut the fuck up and snap the ball and take your NFL paycheck. If your job's to hold the ball, hold the ball. It's not that bad. Like there's not that much coaching that goes into that. That is something that those guys should have been doing for most of their lives by this point. And Cal Adamitis was a long snapper back in college. He's been here for what? This is year 3 or something now. I mean, dude's been doing this for a decade. I'm going to assume Reckow's been doing this for a while in terms of holding and all that.
I'm about to buy a Mims jersey. I have decided. I'm buying a Mims jersey.
Mims jersey? I like it.
Yeah, I have to.
Look at his big ass.
He did something where I didn't even think he was capable of doing. I think that just shows athleticism. Because I think it was one play he was going against Myles Garrett. You know what? Myles Garrett always lines up in a wide 9. So I'm like, because all we see Mims going to people that's close to him was like 2 yards away from him. Mims, like, Mims got in his set, but like it looked like Garrett was just about to beat him. It's like he had like a little speed boost in his kick step. I was like, oh my gosh. And it happened like so quick. I'm like, oh God, I think, because I was curious because I wanted to see how he was going to go against. I'm like, yeah, he's one of the ones.
Again, not a great punt and a pretty good return. Wind was a factor. And I know there were some people bitching about this play calling, this decision making. You're up 2 scores. You're up what, 15 at this point, I believe. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do about it. I got some stuff going on tonight, but I'll see what I can do. Again, you're up 2 scores. You just got a turnover. They got 3 timeouts. You want to force them to burn their timeouts. You kick a field goal here. 50, sure, I get that. That's a bit long. But the most important thing is to get rid of those timeouts. So they have no way of stopping the clock anymore. And again, if you kick that field goal, if you make that field goal, which we'll see here, we'll see if there's an issue with the snap or the hold or whatever, or if McPherson just shanked it. But that's your whole job right there, is to just burn those timeouts. Just checked in regulation versus Baltimore, we held Derrick Henry to 30 yards. We were keeping him in check until he broke the 1 OT. Yeah.
Can I glaze the Browns defense real quick?
Glaze away.
I just like their concept because I'm looking at their defense different between our defense. If you look how they line up, they line up in gaps that forces linebackers to have to fill the other gaps. So it's like there's only two ways you can go for the running back, and the D lineman gap or linebacker gap. And so if our scheme, our linebackers have to pick, and guess what gaps the running back got to go through. That I think that's why they was really stuffing us, and it's just cool watching that. I love football.
I I think this is McPherson just missing this. Let me slow mo this real quick.
I think some people saying the snap.
Let's see. I'll put it in slow mo. No, that's a fine snap. Oh, the laces weren't all the way out, but McPherson just misses that, in my opinion. Someone who played more field goal team, I didn't really play much field goal.
Well, the laces was up at an acute angle, so I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
That might throw off the kick. I just remember laces out, Dan. Like,
Yeah, I was the one blocking for the kickers. I don't know.
yeah, I was never a holder or a long snapper. Hey, look, Burton got some snaps. You see him back there.
See, that's why he not on the field. You see how he's standing up? See, if he's supposed to be like 2 yards up in the side, see, he not locked in. Like, what is he doing in meetings?
I heard they had to wake him up on the bench to get him to go out there for victory for him.
And that's what I heard too. I think he was watching too much Gentry film. That's why he was standing up like that.
If y'all can see my facial expression right now, y'all just start laughing.
All right, here we go. We have no videos available for Charlie Jones. I guess it never happened. So all the Charlie Jones meat writers in my comments can, fuck off.
I guess I'm the NFL. Well, what is it right now?
This is film room.
Yeah, I don't think film room is a Chuck Sizzler.
No, neither am I.
None of the NFL, well, one of them do, but it was a NFL highlights of the game, and they didn't have the Chuck Sizzle return on there.
Well, we got to get those. But good job not biting on that run.
Who is this who comes off the edge here? Oh, it's Von Bell. Geno Stone's x-rays were negative, so no break. So dodged a bullet on that one.
Hey, what was crazy on that replay? I was trying to look at it to see was it the same as Hutchinson's, because it happened. Loki happened the same way. How the leg swung into Von Bell.
I think the good thing is it looked like the leg hit Von Bell up in the chest kind of area or the ribs. Hutchinson went shin to shin, which is always a bad result. And there goes Charlie Jones going east-west. No one wants to talk about this.
And if y'all haven't played football before, getting hit in the shin do not feel good. Just let alone breaking it.
OBJ was also a calf injury, not a knee. Trevine in the trenches. Look, man, I played tight end when I was in high school. And sometimes against some of those dudes, you just gotta go low. You gotta go low on D linemen. I'm trying not to get killed in film room.
No, they go low. I just push them down.
J-Dub, how big are you? Like, how big were you when you played?
What am I? Dang, I think it's 6'2", 290.
Yeah, your
5.
ass getting
Yeah.
chop blocked. I'm not trying to block you straight up.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm still like that now. I'm only 20, so like it wasn't that long ago. But that was my problem too. I just kept standing straight. I won't just keep standing straight up. I was fighting, of course, but I just popped straight up because it's like I gotta look what's going on in the backfield.
See, that's what's different between me and you. Nah, I wasn't popping up. I kept my leverage, bro. Because I was still able to see, where the ball was going. And I'm 6'2". I'm 6'2" as well, and I was able to keep my eye back there in the backfield. So yeah, I was never popping up because the one time that I popped up and I ran through, I got side swiped by a freaking pulling left guard, and he buckled the left side of the right side of my knee, bro. So I'll never do that again. That's what I was saying. So nah, never that
Oh yeah,
again.
I understand that. I got my head. I got my head clocked too. It was cause me, I was like not saying I'm like one of this level, but I was a DJ reader on my team. I took the double teams, triple team, bro. I never thought in my life I would experience a triple team before. Like that one was crazy. But anyway,
Frustrating, ain't it?
it was a trap play. I came up straight, so the guard pull and the other guard count, bro. I seen straight stars. I never. That was the only time I swear in my
Go
whole
back on that
football
end.
career
Was he
I
in
got
bounds?
hit that hard.
Go back. Was he in bound when he dropped that ball? I'm sorry. Go ahead, J-Dub. My bad.
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
And I was a Trey Hendrickson too. I ain't played with no gloves.
Running split zone with tight ends that couldn't block a backside DN. That's fine. Call me out, Kyrus. That's fine. We didn't play together, but that's me. Ooh, that's close. That's really close to him dropping that inbounds.
Oh, that was a backward pass.
No. Watch him. Oh no, he's out. Okay, he's out of bounds. You expect to see less from me?
Yeah, from that long angle, that long angle, it looked like he may have dropped it before he went out, but yeah, he was out.
Look, Kyrus, I was forced to play O line when I was in high school. I started at 6 foot, and then I was 6'4" when I left high school, and yeah, they forced me to play O line my freshman year, and I hated it. And then, thank God, my school wasn't very good, so I got to play tight end.
Did I ever tell you the story about when they tried to put me on the offensive line?
No.
Okay. My uncle was a running back, right? He played running back for Trotwood Madison and in Dayton, Ohio. And, he also was a baseball player. So he was like one of the star running backs of the state. You know what I mean? So, naturally, you want to be what your uncle is, right? And they put me on the offensive line because I was too big to be a running back, basically, right?
Mm.
And I was mad. I was salty. So it was a guy, we called him Armstrong. He was lined up in front of me, and I told him, no, it was Pruitt. My bad, Pruitt. He was standing in front of me, and I told him, I said, they're about to run through the A gap. As soon as they snap the ball, just act like you tossed me, and I'm gonna fall and I'm gonna tumble on the ground. That's what happened. The dude they had it running back, they hit him, and he was crying, had snot coming out of his nose. I'll never forget this.
That's nasty to run. That's nasty.
I did it 3 times in a row. Then they put me on the defensive line,
And then that's when I end up finding out that I love. This was middle school, bro. This is when I found out I love hitting the quarterback, bro. That's when I found out, like, yeah, okay, this is my spot. This is what I love right here.
See, D line was cool. I did enjoy playing D line. I didn't like blocking, man. I hated blocking.
See, bro, I now like knowing the game, I don't. If I play O line, the only position I wanted to play, cause I can play tackle. I love playing tackle. Like being on that island is something special. Then I want to be on that left side too. So anyway, on the defensive side, I love that. It's like I don't know because you can hear your name on the loudspeaker when they call your name. It's just something about that.
Hey, bro, did you see what King said down there in the chat?
QB till I saw Twinkies. Yeah, and see that's the problem, Kyrus. They put me at tackle, and I broke my very first pass set. I broke 3 of my fingers on my right hand because I went to punch. I don't know how I did it, but I broke my pointer, my middle, and my ring finger on my right hand. And I'm like, man, this shit ain't for me.
Why you ain't tape up?
No, I didn't tape up. Bro, my dad played football. He's the one who got me into football. My dad was like 5'7", like a buck 70. Dude was not playing in the trenches. He did not know trenches play. I went out there, no gloves, no tape, no nothing. And I cracked 3 of my fingers, and I'm like, I'm a tight end now. I'm done.
Hey, shout out to my lineman cause that's another reason why I didn't want to play offense just defense. Cause like being offensive line while you seeing your other teammates play 7-on-7, 1-on-1s, freaking. I'm like, bro, I want to do that.
Bruh.
See, man,
Salty at practice.
7-on-7s are fun though. It's just you're just running. Like that's about it. You don't have
But
to worry about
still,
getting hit.
Bro, when I played
people,
in high school,
you want the
go ahead,
ball
my
in your
bad.
hands.
When I played in high school, man, they had me lined up. They had me lined up at the 0. They had me lined up at the 2-eye. They had me lined up at the 4. Then I also played a few snaps here and there at outside linebacker. So, but when they come to going after that quarterback, bro, like I don't know, man. I just love the physicality, bro. I love the physicality, and plus I was really athletic at that point until it tore my knee up, and I was really athletic. So I don't know. I just love that defensive line, bro. That's why, like, anytime we play the game or we watch the games, I should say, my eyes is fixated on that defensive line, bro. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And one thing I can't stand a soft dude trying to play defensive line, bro. I can't. Them finesse dudes, I hate
No
it,
cap.
bro. I hate it,
We call them practice warriors.
man. Only way you can get
One,
away with only way you can get away with being a finesse player is if you're an edge rusher that has elite athleticism. That's the only. But if you're a defensive tackle and you're an elite athlete, bro, you getting your face smashed in, bro.
one thing about I can't be at the 0. I can't. I try. I mean, I've been at the 0. I just don't like it because it's like, dog, you gonna be getting double teamed all game, bro. It's like, dog.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. I mean, we called it nose guard. We didn't even call it a 0. It was like nose guard. Uh, but yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. It's aggravating, bro. But the one thing that I used to enjoy, like when we had film room, Coach Montgomery, which was my coach when I played for Dunbar or whatever in Dayton.
Not to cut you
He
off,
would.
but look at Trey on this one. Mm.
Yeah, we would watch the film and he would break down, our responsibility and when we did our job, man, it was big time rewarding. We got big props when we held up our position, man, and let the linebackers actually make plays. So that was a good thing.
Hey, Devon, you was the one getting double teamed out your whole D line.
I moved around, bro. It depended on who we was playing. Like my freshman year, we was playing Centerville and they had me lined up at the nose guard position. I had 2 tackles that game, but I didn't get no sacks. I got a couple pressures, but yeah.
Being
I
double
gotta see
teamed. So
what was your
turn one
go-to move?
rip. I had a rip move.
Nah,
I would
I
jab
always
like I'm
killed him
going.
with
I
that
would
spin
jab like
move.
I'm going one way, and I would go the other, and I would go underneath his arm, and I would punch him in the ribs. I used to love doing that. Punch a dude in the ribs, because when you hit him in the ribs, bro, and I don't understand why people don't do this now, like on a consistent basis. When you punch them in the ribs, bro, they letting go. They letting go, bro.
Shoot, my coaches tell me to do that. Is like getting told to do that than actually doing it in game time speed. It's like I don't know that my go-to move was that spin move. Killed them every time.
I had the spin move. I also had. Wait. He said, "Let the D line jump to the swap." Yes, thank you, King. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. If you see a defensive lineman jump up to try to hit them dudes in the rib, bro. That'll take them hands down quick, fast, in a hurry. I had a spin move as well, and I also had a. I like the out. Well, I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called, but I used to get up underneath the pad and just lift up as hard as I could and just keep, bull rush.
Well, bull rush.
Yeah, but other than that, yeah, my favorite, like I said, was the rip move. I had a swim move, but that got me in trouble more time than not.
Yeah, I love them stunts too, bro. You can stunt, bro. That's also why I really like those stunts you can do. It's like when you in the interior, you can actually go on the outside. Cause I never played the end. I always wanted to see how it feel to rush that edge, to go off the edge. Yo, when they don't see you coming, how like
we never ran any stunts, man.
Can we get a moment of silence for Kyrus? He had to play Michael Mayer every year. You know that guy's a demon.
My bad, brother. My bad.
I'll never forget one of the dudes who I was friends with in college. He told me, and you guys are going to know the name, but I'm going to kind of keep it hidden for as long as I can. He played this guy who he said was just an absolute demon in high school. He went to tackle him one time, and just like he said, he just tackled air, and he was like, "This dude's just an absolute nightmare." And he was like, "Yeah, I had to play Braxton Miller for 4 years when I was in high school," and he made me realize he made him realize he was never going to play football at a higher level. Like,
Bro, it was a dude named Angelo Chapman, right? He went to Chaminade Julienne. Bro, he ended up going to Ohio State, but he didn't never play. Dude was literally in high school. He was like Peter Ward. Like he was, you could not tackle this dude for the life of me. He played with my little brother at CJ. I was out of high school. I was out of, I wasn't playing on sports then. I was helping my father coach at that time. But this dude's, his agility, his ability to stop on the drop of a dime was ridiculous, dog.
some of these guys, they're different. And then like you see them get to higher levels and they're not the same. And it's like that's how big the disparity is in talent. I played with and against dudes in the league. Michael in high school is the best player I've ever played against. He was their Mike and they moved him to D end against you. Did he cook you? Did he get any sacks off you? Play against your entire time middle high school. 0 wins. Yeah, dude's different.
Oh, my former pastor's little brother played for CJ, and he also played with my brother. He played for the Titans. Um, God, what is his name? Javon, Javon Ringer. He went to Michigan State.
Oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah, they played at CJ together. Yeah, my little brother wasn't athletic, but he played linebacker. But they played together at CJ.
Is this the drive they kind of start moving on? 0 sacks. We had you in hell. I just remember seeing clips of like Nick Bosa in high school, or there's that one really famous one of Lamar in high school. Like, just some of these guys are just crazy. Like, that Lamar one is one of the most disrespectful clips.
You know
Where
what was
dudes
crazy? I seen that highlight, but it was later until I knew that was Lamar Jackson. Bro. So it was like one of the moment that was him, but now it don't shock me no more.
now he's just doing the same shit he did in high school. He's
Yeah,
about to
they
do that to the Bucks tonight.
hopefully not.
Nah, man, that Lamar is almost untouchable against the NFC.
Man, Sheldon Rankins look big there, bro. Like, he looked smaller before. I don't know. Ain't he like
We
290?
finally got the shimmy, bro.
He like 290 or something like that, right? 298.
Yeah, I think so. He's just under 3. So Kyra said Michael Mayer, his junior year was his freshman year. He was a pure slot tight end. He was 6'1", 205. He came back as a sophomore, 6'4", 240. Jesus Christ. And now he's fighting for playing time because they got some balding dude named Brock Bowers out there in Vegas.
Bald ended. Bro, he do not look, isn't he 22?
Yeah, but he looks like he should be selling insurance.
Yeah, he is selling insurance on that damn field. Now we play him next week. This gonna be a hard game for me.
We play him in 2 weeks. You got the Eagles coming up this week.
I know we play him next week. I mean, yeah, we play the Raiders next week.
Are you already considering this the new week?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I had to compute for a second.
When you start yours on Wednesday,
Probably Wednesday, Thursday is right around where I start the new week. Pretty much Thursday, I guess. That's when the league week kicks off.
All right, what did I miss? I had to go and get these clothes out the dryer. What did I miss?
Nothing yet. Just Deshaun airmail and some shit. Nick Chubb getting nothing.
yo, McKinley was balling this game.
Yeah, he was. Watch 93. He takes on that double team so well. I feel like that's one of Chubb's few good runs yesterday. Happens here. It looks like Jenkins almost has the opportunity to make a play.
Look like he got washed down.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but shout out to the defense. Not getting gas, even though they was on the field for a long time, because the offense had the numbnut syndrome for the first half.
This is where they start picking up a little rhythm on offense.
I'm trying to see what coverage they was in.
Well, they have Vaughn creep down into the box.
Probably thought it was a run.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it looked like one of them was spying because that just wouldn't make sense otherwise, having two guys stacked on top of each other like that. In terms of like a zone defense, that would just be overcommitting to one zone.
What's up with them blitzing Mike Hill and he 20 yards away from the ball?
I wish I could tell you, man.
Like all you doing is just taking him out the play.
Sheldon built like the Michelin Man. Trey's got to get that one right there, though. He had a good game, but he could have had an even better game.
Hey, I knew additions both had their first plays as Bengals.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say this, but we might be back.
We'll see. This is a big test. The Eagles are a good team. And I think they're coming
And
off a bye, right?
no, they played the Giants yesterday.
Oh, that's right. They beat the hell out of the Giants. Saquon went crazy.
But this is the same Eagles team that it was a tight game with this same team right here.
That's true. Browns played them tough.
But the only thing I'm worried about on the Eagles is Devontae Smith.
Really? You're not worried about A.J. Brown?
I mean, we played AJ Brown good before.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like we never played Devontae Smith. See, you can tell, like you can go back and say, oh, this player or CTB played well against him. These couple plays when he do this, do that, and don't when he do that. We know that, but we haven't played against Devontae Smith. We don't know how our corners would do against him, knowing he's like that shifty,
Mm.
and we know 9 out of 10 he gonna be on um DJ.
You're not worried about Saquon?
Mm, it depends. I will only be concerned about him because we already know Saquon's going to get his. It's
Yeah.
Saquon, so
This
we
is
not going to stop him.
this right here is a nasty play too for Deshaun. Ugh. As soon as we saw it when we were watching it in here, we just knew. We knew what it was.
Yep, this one everybody started cheering.
The loudest the Brown Stadium's been in years.
I thought I was tripping.
DJ's got to turn his head around for the ball there.
Yeah, what's up with him, man? He been doing that a lot, not turning his head around.
That's those Michigan DBs, man.
And really, we really could have held him to 3 points the whole game.
Nah, Njoku still would have dunked on CTB at the end there.
Nah, that was. Hey, yo, what's going on with CTB?
I don't know, man. I think that helps with the contract extension though. Makes him a bit cheaper. Like you'll get top 15, top 20 money. I don't think you'll get top 10. There you go. They get their Mickey Mouse Nick Chubb touchdown off his 2 yards per rush. Oh, never mind. That's right. There's a penalty offsides. They still get their Mickey Mouse Nick Chubb touchdown though. Here it is. Look at look at Miles with the seatbelt. Watch Miles' effort on this play. He starts right here from a 3-point. That's an insane play for a DN to make.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Oh dang! I missed the Miles seatbelt.
You did miss the Miles seatbelt.
Well, the car seatbelt,
Here's
not the
the
seatbelt. That wasn't the seatbelt.
Oh, hold on. Everything's going a little crazy for a second. Here, I'll
Hey, bro, I
I'll
have a
play it for
question.
you real
So
quick.
far, are you would you say you would be nervous going against Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, I'm nervous against any mobile quarterback.
Oh,
We've
just
still
because you
shown.
said that, I forgot all about them. I know they can be doing hella read options.
I was about to say we're completely inept at stopping read options. Are you ready for it again? Here's Miles right here. From a
From a
3-point
full
stance, he
point?
covers the tight end. Oh,
Hey,
that's a DN making that kind of play. Okay. So they're kneeling. That's kind of the end of the half right there. They missed the extra point, which is big. If we get a Miles pick, that'd be crazy. So this is the Browns get the ball back at the start of the first half. Again, just rhythm and timing. I think the Browns offense looks better with DTR back there, in all honesty.
that's one thing our defense. If we let a team get a rhythm against us, we're getting walked down.
Could you imagine if Miles got a pick there? That would have been insane.
Oh, Trey should really have 11 sacks right. Well, I said 11, like up like 10 sacks right now.
He's got a lot of those almost sacks.
And we only in what, week 9, going on week 10.
No, we're in week
Ooh, this week 7.
7. Yeah, we're going into week 8.
Oh, week 7. Oh, snap. Oh, I'm tripping. Shoot.
I'll say week 10, we better be like 6-4.
But hey, as long as we got, actually, I don't know. He's scaring me. He's scaring me.
I feel like DJ had an opportunity to pick this one. You see him break on the ball.
That's why they call him Mr. PBU. He don't catch interceptions.
Watch this closing speed, though.
Can we stop picking corners from Michigan?
Please. Watch this. That should have been a pick.
Yeah, I'd rather see DJ on Devontae than AJ Brown.
Oh, yeah, CTB is going to go on AJ Brown. I feel like that's just a matchup.
AJ Brown's getting double teamed.
Of course.
So CTB bet not just be on AJ Brown. Oh, that's barbecue chicken.
Kyrus, I get it. I get one Will Johnson. I don't trust Michigan DBs. I like their D line. I don't like their DBs that much.
Yeah, I was on the phone with my wife. Okay, so did we see anything with the rookie guys, the rookie defensive tackles yet?
Yeah, we saw a little bit out of McKinley. He took on a couple double teams really well. Miles, we saw it on here that he on that PBU he covered the tight end that he was lined up across from out of a 3-point stance, which is pretty nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How old is McKinley?
I think he's, 23?
I believe he's 23, yeah.
Did we do
Quick
any
little
meshes
first step
yesterday?
for somebody his size, man. Like, he got a quick little first step.
What's up, Kim?
I said, did we do any meshes yesterday on offense at all?
I don't remember seeing any no mesh concepts.
I'm like, my God.
Why are you hurdling there? If you're DTR, just get out of bounds. Don't take that shot.
He don't want to play.
Well, he's hurt too. And then some injury report stuff coming through. Aiden O'Connell for the Raiders. He's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks with a broken thumb. Jalen Watson, the corner for the Chiefs, fractured his ankle.
Let me guess. He gonna be able to come back by the time they go to the playoffs, huh?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
I forgot all about Pacheco.
Yeah, Pacheco's still out. I picked up Kareem Hunt off of waivers. So it says he's going to have, for Jalen Watson for the Chiefs, he's going to have more imaging done today to determine if a return this season is possible. So we'll see. It sounds like they're not very optimistic.
Bro, it's something strange about them this season. They don't even seem as dominant, but yet they still win games. Like, this man Mahomes is dead working with a rookie, a TikTok star, and a practice squad player. And
yeah, Kyron's, we're going to pause that. You know what? Here's what we'll do. Here you go. That's pinned. You would talk about my aura with my leather helmet and no tape.
Oh my God!
Bro, they had a lot of penalty flags out there today. Against Cleveland, they did a lot of stupid stuff, bro. They kept shooting themselves in the foot. Undisciplined, bro.
Damn.
Whew. CTB caught him.
Yo,
Wouldn't that, ain't
get
that
up
like
quick.
like 250 pounds?
I think so. Yeah.
That's a big dude.
He just CTB's got to get low, take his knees out.
He was low. He just didn't get low enough.
Get lower.
Yeah,
He
get
should
your
have just
legs,
dropped his
boy.
ankles.
You got some tire tracks in your chest, man.
This man got ran over and head tapped, bro.
Well, at least it wasn't over. At least he didn't get ran over by Mahomes though, so we can give him that.
That's true.
That shit was crazy.
Bro, they did a side-by-side of each of those guys shirtless on Twitter. I think Ghetto Gronk put it up. And the dude Mahomes ran over is fucking jacked. How about Sam Hubbard's goofy ass getting him one?
He said he's done running the ball back.
And I wish he would have got up with a little urgency. That could have been a touchdown.
You know what you talking about? You talking about Sam Hubbard.
That's the fastest he can get up.
I got to stop hating.
If bro gets a fumble recovery, he's going to be hitting the life alert button to get some help off the field.
Man, he was breathing super hard, bro.
He jogged
It wasn't
30
because
yards
of the
for a
pick. It was the
celly.
celebration, bro.
Yeah. The 30-yard jog for the celly, and he's like, I'm good. I'm done. I'm tired, Zach.
See, that's what I was talking about right there. Y'all see what I'm talking about with Miles Murphy?
Mm-hmm.
That closing speed, bro. He couldn't get that corner like he was trying to. It depends on who it is, Pat. If it's Miles Murphy, I don't have a problem with Miles dropping back because he has the athleticism to do something. If you dropping back Sam Hubbard, I have a real issue with that.
The only play that actually worked in was the 2021 AFC Championship game.
But here's the thing, though. Sam is unathletic enough where him rushing isn't really a problem. You can't really drop him back. So you just kind of have to pick and choose your battles with him. Because he's not
be out there on
edge.
rundowns though, Brady. That's why I don't understand. Like, even I was yelling at the TV. It was like on third down, on obvious passing downs, he's out there as a pass rusher. I'm like, come on, bro. Know your personnel, man.
It's coaching staff, man. Sometimes they just make the goofiest decisions and it just works out somehow. Like that pick that he had. It just somehow it works out. Somehow leaving Charlie Jones back there to return kicks. Eventually, the blind squirrel finds a nut. And there you go.
Good job, BJ. At least he took care of his responsibility, bro. Those are the type of plays that go unnoticed.
I mean, D-line did a great job yesterday. Ooh. Trey with another hit.
Yeah, that's the one that came up a little gimpy, wasn't it?
Yep.
I love that he put on a smoke visor now. Like, yo,
What's going on, guys?
And what's up, Max? How you feeling?
Good. Happy about the win.
You got some big seatbelts.
And needed it.
Max, tell your brother I need a sack next week, bro. I need probably 2 of them if he get it in him.
Yeah, we gonna see.
I want him to put
He'll
the
be
hurt on
against
Jalen.
Melata, right?
I think Mailata's out.
Really? So they got 2 backup tackles in.
Yeah, I think so. I think I saw someone in the chat yesterday say Mailata's out.
Wow.
Yeah, on IR.
Oh wow.
y'all think they gonna move back into tackle?
Hell no. Not at this point.
I say do it, but that's me being selfish.
They say he's been looking pretty good at guard though, right?
Yeah, he's been good.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's been good at guard, so I don't see no reason to move him.
I just want to put him out there for Trey Hendrickson.
Max, did you end up going to the game yesterday?
Nah, I stayed back.
Okay. I know we were in here and we saw that seatbelt real time, and we said his ass is way too big to be doing a seatbelt celebration.
Hey, that's 280 pounds in coverage.
Out of a 3-point stance, too.
Yeah.
Who got the cat? Who got the cat?
I do.
Over here like meow, 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 pass rush, meow.
Worst part, she's orange and black, too, so she's just a little crazy this time of year. Yeah. Born October 31st, she's a little crazy.
You got a Bengal cat?
I got a Bengal cat.
You got the Garfield?
Did you do that on purpose?
We rescued her. We found her at a pet store. We rescued her.
That's crazy. And it ended up being the Bengal cat. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's the odds?
Kyra said that's a big ass seatbelt. On defense, though, I just need better tackling out of them, to be honest. Stop with the stripping. You saw it in a couple moments here in this game, but I feel like ultimately it's getting better. The tackling's getting a lot better as the weeks go on.
Bro, you know what I heard all week, Brady? They was talking about that their offensive line is finally healthy. This has been the healthiest they've been all year. And, they want to keep telling us that it wasn't a drop. There wasn't a drop off. We got the same players. Now that Callahan's gone. This is the worst that I've seen the offensive line look against us, bro.
That Callahan loss is huge. And they never wanted to admit
it. They had all their offensive linemen back?
I think so, yeah.
I think Conklin started, but DeJuan Jones ended up coming in taking his spot.
Someone said they pulled him. I was listening to Brown's Crash Out Space like all night. It was therapy for me. It was great.
Yeah, bro, I was in there too.
That shit was awesome, man. I had a great time listening to them. Just scream, talk about how they want to fight people. You got the one dude who showed up drunk talking about how he made all this money. Tina came in there, Tina, the Giants fan. She wanted to kind of, kick some dirt on them while they were down. It's pretty funny.
I love Tina, man. She be having me crying, bro.
And she came in and she made a bet with someone. She's like, I want my money.
Yeah, she was like, where's my money, Marshawn?
Oh, yeah, it's Marshawn. Marshawn was the one who was... Bro, Marshawn was drunk as fuck talking about how he wanted to fight people. And
yeah, he was mad that they were cheering for Watson when he was down. He was like, man, I'm embarrassed to even be from this city.
And, yeah, and that's why I'm pretty glad, honestly, with the reaction from a lot of Bengals fans. We all have our thoughts on the guy. Yeah, especially in here. I don't know about everywhere else, but in here, none of us really cheered. Like I said, the only comment that was made was no comment. Like, I'm not going to be too.
That's what I said. I mean, because he could take whatever off the field. That's one thing. But knowing and being in a situation where you had to rehab, been there twice. You know what I mean? I understand the severity of it. I understand how much of a mental toll that takes on people. So just simply off of the football, I'm not talking about the off the field stuff. I'm just talking about simply as an injury on the field. I was like, prayers up, and I had people attack me like, why are you praying for a rapist? I'm like, bruh, come on, man. Come on. I ain't even talking about nothing of that nature about off the field. I'm talking about simply on the field in this rehab, bro. It's weird. I just hate injuries, bro. And if you look at like a lot of my posts, anytime I see a player that's got injured, every player, no matter what team they on, I'm like, prayers up. Because I understand that, bro. It's not easy to come back from, man.
Yeah, I mean the injury stuff, it sucks. It's I'm not cheering for injuries, and I'm going like just from my perspective. I tore my ACL in my right knee when I was 15. Shit sucks, dude. It's not fun, and I've never had a torn Achilles. I'm assuming obviously there's differences, but there's a lot of similarities in how you have to rehab and all that. But I again, like I can separate the football player from the person. I think a lot of the outrage towards him as a person is 100% justified. He sounds like an awful human being off the field, all things considered. But on the field, you watch the guy have a big injury. That might be, in all honesty, the last NFL snap he plays. That's back-to-back season-ending injuries. He's had 3 now in his career. Yeah, and again, I was told if you have nothing nice to say, then don't say anything. And I don't have anything bad to say, but I don't have anything nice to say. I just
But I think my issue is, Brady, is these are the same people that was capping for him. You know what I mean?
Oh
The
yeah.
whole time. So I don't want to hear all of a sudden now you got issues with this off the field situation when you was the whole time taking up for him, talk about he didn't do this, that, and the other, and it was unjustified, blah, blah, blah. Now all of a sudden, because he's not playing well, all of a sudden you want to I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's fake. I hate that, bro. I hate phoniness, bro. I hate it.
And I think I'm taking the Browns fans out of it because we all know what Browns fans are. And I never look forward to these weeks because of who they are. And I think I'm looking at more or less from like Bengals fans. I've seen Bengals fans be pretty consistent on Deshaun.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but the Browns fans switching up just because he sucks at football, like you knew he was a bad person years ago when you signed him, and you guys called him Black Jesus. You called him all this stuff, and look, you guys made your bed. You got to lie in it. He's now had 2 season-ending injuries. You guaranteed him all that money. You knew who he was as a human being before a football player, and you made your bed. You got to lie in it. If you're supporting that guy from day one, then just stay where you were at. I'll stay where I was at, which was I thought if all that shit was true, dude should have never played another snap.
He only went there because of the money.
Yeah, and look, I had the same talk because, again, my wife's family's from Cleveland. She's like, how would you react if the Bengals did that? And I said, I wouldn't be a fan. I wouldn't be a fan because that's one of those things that I put above football. That's more important than football. And,
But my thing is, as Bengal fans, though, like the whole Joe Mixon situation, and I'm the type of person I dig deep into stuff, and before I make a judgment, I want to know from every detail what's going on. And was Joe Mixon wrong? Absolutely, but they were wrong on both ends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think this is where the issue comes in, where Joe Mixon, he was a fan favorite. You know what I mean? He hadn't got no trouble and this, that, and the other, but you would still see people talking about, I'm talking about even before these last couple of years of the stuff that's come out the last couple of years, you would still see people say, oh, you're a woman beater and this, that, and the other. Like, bro, if you had anything that you done wrong in the closet and you became a celebrity or whatever for any reason and it came out, you will be dealt with the same way. Stop being hypocritical. And that's the thing that aggravates the fire. I mean, I had a dude like, you're praying for a rapist and he's a Christian and stuff. And I said, well, wait a minute, hold on. I said, what's the only sin that you could be forgiven for? Oh, you're missing my point. No, if this is what you're gonna do, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, bro. I think people don't consider themselves when they consider matters, and this that self-righteous stuff that comes in. You know what I mean? And this ain't taking up for Deshaun at all. I'm just saying in general, because I seen it with Joe Mixon, and it used to infuriate me with Joe Mixon, especially when this dude was the last dude every game out there signing autographs for all your children. You know what I mean? But you go still talk down on this dude like he's the scum of the earth, bro. And it just never set right with me, bro. Never set right with me.
And that was always the problem with, especially with Browns fans, is they would try to lump Joe Mixon in with Deshaun. They're totally different situations. Joe, yeah, he made a mistake, but also I think part of his reaction of being angry was justified. I mean, being called a racial slur by a white woman at 19 years old.
Yep.
He was spit on. He was called the N-word. hitting a woman isn't acceptable in any context, but you know, he never did that again. And on top of that, let's be totally honest here. If that was a white dude who did that to Joe Mixon, no one would have an issue with it. You know, it's because of what that person did is also fucking terrible. And that person should also be ashamed. So again, and I get it, like I'm a white guy talking about this, but again, you spit on a dude and you called him the N-word, and you kind of get what's coming to you a little bit in some aspects. You shouldn't hit a woman, but
and she hit him first also.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's why I say I feel like people on both sides need to keep their dang hands to themselves. And I think men need to have the patience and the intestinal fortitude to be able to not, you know, try to hit back. But at the same time, you can't be laying your hands on people just because you're a woman and you don't think he's gonna hit you back. It's not right. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's on both ends, bro. That's why I said it was on both ends.
Yeah. Yeah. And
you see Gino get one of those Raven picks right there though?
He almost. I'm not gonna, again, Joe Mixon's thing, I think instead of it being an egregious like never play football again, it was a lack of maturity in a bad moment. And you can expect guys who are 19 to not have all the maturity to get out of that situation. And he grew from it and he got better. And that situation is the only reason he was even a Bengal in the second round. Like, he would have been a first round pick. And he got punished for that. And that's the thing, is Joe Mixon's punishment was, you know, pretty severe. He was in college. He didn't get over $200 million fully guaranteed for it. So.
And he paid for it while he was in college. He was suspended and everything. And that's what I'm saying. Some things people, when things happen, if people pay their dues to society, then let it be that. You shouldn't have to keep hearing about it 24/7. Because again, if there were skeletons that would fall out of your closet and people know about it and they keep reminding you all the time, I think because these guys get paid money, people just feel like that, you know, they're not human. They don't have emotions. They don't have this, that, and the other. And I'm like, bro, I don't care how much money you make. You still human. You know what I mean? You still have emotions. You still have mental things that you have to overcome and persevere. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just think it's a lot of hypocrisy out here, bro. And it's aggravating.
And people deserve the opportunity to grow. I mean, look at Pac-Man. Pac-Man had problems. He had problems even when he was here. I feel like as a human being, as an individual, he's grown since then. And look at Tyler Boyd when he was young. Didn't he have a DUI year 1, year 2 here?
Yep. Carlos Dunlap, he had issues coming out of college, which is why he slipped to the second round.
Yeah, not all these guys are choir boys, but again, like treating, you know, a Joe Mixon or a Tyler Boyd for a mistake they made when they were young and they've rectified it and they've changed and they've grown as human beings, and treating them like they're Aaron Hernandez or something is insane. You got to give these guys an opportunity to grow and to show remorse for their actions. And again, like, separate the Deshaun stuff, because again, from what I've seen, he isn't remorseful. He hasn't taken accountability for any of what he did, and what he did was so egregious. If society doesn't give him another chance, I'm not the judge in this situation, so it's not on me. But again, like, whatever your thoughts are, that's what I liked about watching it. And here was no one celebrated, no one cheered, no one really said or did anything. We just kind of let the moment go, and then we got right back into football, which again is all we're here for at the end of the day. But
I think that was my point. That's why even when I went into Manny's space, right? Like, I was talking, like, you know, because A1 was saying, you know, oh, you know, if that was your sister, and I was like, bro, I said, I hear what you're saying, and I absolutely agree with what you're saying, right? But I said, this is just not a Deshaun Watson thing. This is a Cleveland thing in general. Yeah, everybody in here know how I felt about Zach Carter. If Zach Carter would have got hurt while he was here, I would not have been celebrating. You know what I mean? No. Like, to me, that's some stupid, idiotic, you know, stuff. You know what I mean? I remember when Tim Couch got booed. when he got when they celebrated and they was actually clapping and stuff when Tim Couch got hurt. I remember his response. I remember when Derek Anderson got hurt. I mean, these are their quarterbacks that got hurt and they celebrated. I'm like, that's a culture thing, bro. That's not just a Deshaun Watson thing. That's a culture thing.
Yeah. And I think maybe our perceptions of them would be a bit different if they didn't. Like, what did Tim Couch, again, Tim Couch a bit before my time. I don't remember Tim Couch having any of the problems that
He didn't.
Watson.
They didn't have no off the field issues. Tim Couch was the former number one quarterback taken in the draft. Was he good? No, he wasn't. You know what I mean? But that still doesn't justify you cheering for a dude to get injured. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then I think Derek Anderson at like 1 year had like 26 touchdowns and but I think he had like 18 interceptions though. But he was like, it was better than a lot of the quarterbacks that they had. And they booed dude. I mean, they cheered dude when he got hurt. And I'm like, what is going on with you, dude? It's like, seriously. Then somebody brought up Trent Dilfer. That was in a space. That was a Cleveland Brown face. He was like, yeah, they did the same thing to Trent Dilfer. When he got hurt, they celebrated too. I'm like, see, that's crazy. That's a culture thing. That's why I put that Sam Weiss when they was throwing trash on the field and he got the microphone and was like, nah, y'all stop throwing that stuff on the field. We don't do that. This ain't Cleveland. I was like, that's right, accountability, bro.
We listen to music from the most horrible people, but we separate the music from the artist. Yeah. Yeah. I think the only people you really can't do that with anymore is probably Diddy and R. Kelly. But yeah, for the most part, absolutely. Show of hands. This isn't gonna, maybe I can clip the chat out of this. Show of hands. Who still listens to R. Kelly or P. Diddy in here?
Not me.
Not
me. You do? Oh, that's nasty, J-Dub.
Listen. I put it like this. Just because you listen to the music, like, he can be a bad person, but he got talent.
Yeah.
It's like I've been listening to him ever since that happened. But like, that man can sing.
Bro's on the Space Jam soundtrack. Of course I want to listen to him. I just can't.
Oh, R. Kelly.
Yeah.
It's tough. But P. Diddy, he's also produced a lot of music too. So he's
I
involved
haven't
with a
listened to
lot of
one
artists.
P. Diddy song ever.
You probably have. You just don't know it.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Because he's got his hands in a lot of music.
Yeah, go look at everyone who's like around.
But to be fair, I don't listen to those two guys. But to be fair, every now and then, I still listen to a Mystical song or two. And Mystical is in there for some egregious stuff himself. You know what I mean? So I absolutely get it. And that goes back to the point that I was making earlier, bro. Like, you can separate the two. And I'm glad you made that point, King. I'm glad you made that point.
I think the best thing, and again, I think Derek Carr, he's kind of a joke of a quarterback, but as a person, I feel like he's a pretty solid person. He, in the Henry Ruggs situation, which is, again, is a criminal thing. Henry Ruggs is in prison, deservedly so, for what he did. And Derek Carr, in his response to it, was love the sinner, hate the sin, right? And he's saying that for his teammate. You guys don't have to love Deshaun because, again, he's not a Bengal. He's not one of us. But I think the easiest thing to take from that is to just, let's not cast aspersions. Let's just let dude live his life. Think what you want to think about him. I'm not really very religious. I know there are some religious people. Whatever you want to bring into this, right? Just let the Browns sort themselves out and just keep on with the Bengal shit and just kind of laugh and point your finger at them. That's the best thing to do. Keep it football. Let's not worry about their quarterback. Let's not worry about what he did off the field or on the field. Let's just all point and laugh at Cleveland's misery, right? Because they kind of deserve it for all the shit they talked. And we could go find receipts of them making fun of Burrow's wrist, and let's just be better than them, and let's take the high road while also kicking some dirt on them while they're down, right? That's what football's about. But that's the end of the game. I mean, what was your guys' takeaways? I'll give everyone a couple minutes here before I close it up. Zim's going to start one at some point, so once he gets that going, we'll hop in there. But Divine, Max, J-Dub, what do you guys got?
Bro, nothing really. Just I know it's Monday, but whatever we gotta do, just keep on building to the next week. That's all I can ask for.
I'm glad we got this W. You know, cardiac cats. We've been through this before. Winning ugly. I just want our defense to continue to improve. I want our offense to get this stuff together. As far as these issues that they've been having, get it together, especially for next week because we got a tough game coming in next week.
That we do.
Yep, it was a big win on the road. Excited, happy. Defense looked good. Offense knows what they need to work on. Knows what they need to improve. I jumped into all 22 late, but this is just from watching the game. But yeah, I hope both sides of the ball and special teams build on their performances going into next week.
I'm gonna
You came up here. What's up?
I'm gonna need you to take down the pin tweet, by the way.
I saw that.
Oh shoot! Hey King, one last thing before I get off, just to validate your point, right? What you said about the separating the music and stuff from the people. How many times have we seen dudes that go out there and commit murder? You know what I mean? And they be like, "Free my dude, free such and such." Dude, why am I gonna free him? He went on a murder spree. Like, come on. But, all right, go ahead.
Kyrus, what you got, man?
That's the same thing with like Chris Brown fans. I'm a Chris.
Oh no, he's a little choppy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Up, it was brown and we flushed it down.
Yeah, that's one of those teams players play well to get out of. That's one of those cities, and the fans make it that way. Even the guys they love kind of want out.
Was it enough to be a slobber knocker?
Bro, that just off of that point you made, I would not be surprised that the players are so disgusted at what just happened this week that some of these dudes are going to want to be traded. And then somebody brought up a good point. This is why we have a hard time. They said they have a hard time getting players in there that want to stay there because of all this stuff. This Cleveland is known for this type of stuff. So yeah, I want to see what type of Barnes what is it called, fire sale they about to have, because they gonna be in cap hell and they 1-6.
Like the only thing keeping Batman there is the injuries. If he was never injured, he would not be there.
I don't know if he's going to remain there for the rest of the year. I don't know, man. I think if they get some offers,
What can they do? I mean, because it's still gonna count against the dead cat unless they make some sort of conspiracy, some sort of allegation come out and they be like, well, we can get out of this contract because of this allegation.
I think right now he's so cheap that they'll just keep him. I think he's like 2.5 right now.
something like that, yeah. And the Deshaun thing, they'll just keep kicking that contract down the road. That's the problem. You could afford to pay a quarterback all that money if he's playing well. But again, 2 season-ending injuries. He misses almost an entire season with the suspension. Like, look, buyers beware.
About guaranteed they draft a quarterback with the first pick, bro.
You know what?
If they do
I
have
hope
a
they
fire
do.
sale, I want one of their D tackles.
I hope that the Browns are dumb enough to draft a quarterback with the first overall pick, and I hope it's Carson Beck.
I hope it's Shaduri.
Oh no, not Carson.
I hope it's Carson Beck, man. Max, you've been watching Georgia. Carson Beck's awful.
But you know what? He looks like he's the
Does that just? Oh, I might make that Photoshop today. Carson
Why
Beck
not yours?
jersey?
Are you about to start that agenda? All right, go ahead and put it out there, and I'm gonna retweet it.
Oh man, but you're right. It's one of those games. It's an ugly divisional game. They've always kind of been a thorn in our side. Again, you do just enough in all three facets: defense, a couple turnovers, offense does just enough. You don't turn the ball over. Yeah, it wasn't a great game. Get a couple touchdowns. Special teams, I think Reckow was kind of up and down yesterday. But again, you get a kick return for a touchdown because Charlie Jones realized he's closer to Devin Hester when he goes north-south. Yeah, I mean, all in all, it was not great, but it was a complete enough team effort to win the game in all three facets. And again, all that matters is if you won or you lost. So now you got
Look,
another
like Joe
opportunity.
said, I'd rather go through games like that than us throwing for 300 yards and still losing.
Exactly. All that matters at this point of the season is wins. It's not playoffs. I mean, yes, you're playing playoff football, but again, all that matters right now is just getting wins, getting back to 500, getting this little win streak going, and then, eventually just righting the ship from the early season woes, and then maybe next year we could start faster. But
Do y'all think? Well, do y'all think the division's still in play?
you're 1-1 in the division. Everything is still in front of you. You do need some help from the Ravens, though. You need them to drop a couple. So,
Man, I was looking at that because I was thinking like, do we still have a chance to win the division?
in reality, yes. In practicality, you still got 2 games against the Steelers. If you sweep the Steelers, you got the same record as them, but you got a tiebreaker with winning those 2. So, that's still in front of you. But again, like I say, you need help. You need help from the Ravens. You need help from the Steelers. You need them to go drop a couple games. And we'll see what happens. It's a long season. Still got to play it out. You still have to go out there and win games too. The Ravens can lose and the Steelers can lose, but if you're not matching with wins, none of it means anything, right? So you finally got your D-line back to healthy enough. I think they're still getting healthy. They're still getting their feet under them. It's just about stacking wins. You're a game below 500. You're on the outside of the playoffs looking in still. And you're about to turn the calendar to November, and you got some big games coming up. I don't listen to this guy because I don't really like any of his takes, but if you guys listen to the AFC North Roundtable, there's the Bobby Baltimore guy who talks about this being like the lull in our schedule. I don't think playing some of the best defensive lines the league has to offer is a lull in our schedule, or playing the Ravens, then the Giants, then the Browns, the Raiders, and the Ravens again, playing 3 division games in 5 games. I don't think that's a lull in our schedule. So, I mean, look, 24-hour rules in effect. We got the win. We'll see. We'll see about tonight, Kyrus. But yeah, I mean, we'll just let's stay locked in. Let's see what happens, and then and who day, guys, right?
Who there?
Who day? Shout out to Miles. Seatbelt. So I'm gonna close it up. For anyone who came in late or missed any of it, I'm putting it up on the YouTube once I can upload it. Zim's gonna be doing a playback here in a little bit. I don't exactly know when, so be sure to hop into that. If you guys find any good Browns crash out spaces, send them my way. I always love listening and laughing at them. They deserve all the mockery and ridicule. We just ended their season in October. So on to bigger and better things. We're out of Cleveland. Now we get to come back home for a whiteout against the Eagles. So let's go, boys. I will see you guys either Tuesday or Wednesday with that Eagles and Giants all 22 from last week. All right, guys.
All right.
See ya.
Appreciate it, Brady.